As we have tight end Josh Lingenfelter here. Ken Kreitzer, you can start us.
Hey, Josh, Ken Kreitzer, Canvets Media. First, how is your practice going so far for the Navy game?
I'd say practice is going good. Had a pretty physical day today. It was good. Get the toes wet again and feel some contact after taking the last 2 weeks pretty relaxed for the most part. So it was good to get the body back, and today getting back into it pretty heavy.
Very good. Now, how is it for you to adjust to the game? The game plan for in Coastal when we saw the return of more of the under center quarterback play and more of the use of the fullback and the option plays. How was that? What kind of a change was that for you?
Um, I mean, the fundamentals for me, it really doesn't change for much, if at all. So, I mean, for me, it's just continuing to improve on my fundamentals and just technique and assignment. So, for me, nothing. It's completely smooth transition of my assignment and fundamentals.
So even on blocking, even with they're running the fullback more, it's still pretty similar.
Oh yes, 100%. I mean, the only thing different in my mind is Bryson just under center. So, for me, my job doesn't change.
Very good. Now, how is it as a senior? You've been through a couple of Army Navy games. Tell us about the games that you've played in so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's always an exciting game. I try to treat it just like every other game, the approach and get my mind right for the game and making sure that me and everyone around me and the dudes in my position group know their assignments and are locked in and not distracted and motivated for this week.
Yeah, and just about being a senior, it's going to be your last game, and just getting set for it. It's got to be a very special time for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's the last one. I mean, it's a great rivalry. So, I mean, it's exciting. I try not to make it more than it is, but that's just how I go about my approach. But
That's good. Great to see. I'll let Ken and Sal.
thank you.
Hey, Josh, Ken McMillan from The Record.
How's it going, sir?
Good, thank you. Just to follow on what Kenny was saying, you want to keep this like a regular football game, but we all know this isn't just a regular football game. There's a lot at stake here. So tell me about that balance that you kind of want to enjoy this, but also you got a job to do.
Yeah, I mean, what I try to do is I mean, for me, whenever I was underclassmen, I was pretty emotional and very headstrong going into games, and so now I've trying to take more of like a calm, cool, collective approach because I know a bunch of other dudes, especially underclassmen, dudes who are this could be their first start. I try to be that anchor where it's like, hey, we're good. Don't need to freak out. Like, be confident. This is who you are. Let's play ball. It'll just do your assignment. You'll be fine. Like, I'm not gonna try and like if I'm having to sit here and motivate them to play harder, they're playing the wrong sport. But I mean, just trying to calm these guys down, focus them more than anything, and get them going in the right direction. That's where I kind of see my role is on this team right now.
Did you see action in all three of these Navy games or just the last two?
Just the last two. I broke my foot freshman year, so I was unable to play in that game. But yeah, I mean the other two academies I started, both Yuck and Gow year. So
Yeah, but also just tell me about what it's like to be on the field pre-game, during the game. It is different from all other games, and there's so much passion, and it's such a great rivalry. Um, what were your favorite experiences these past 2 years as a player?
um, I would say more of my highlights would be like seeing the younger guys really bloom, like kind of mentoring them and seeing them really start to hit their potential. And so for me, that's where I see like, okay, those guys are my legacy, and seeing those guys finally reach their potential and being the leaders that they've grown to be. And for me, that's where I see all the enjoyment. I don't really, it's hard for me to like take in the moment. I try not to. I try to like stay as focused as I can. But for me, when I see is that guy finally he's getting it. And so for me, that's where I'm like, that's awesome. So like the whole stadium, all all the stuff that goes on outside the stadium. And like, for me, I don't really care about that. Like I care about what's going on the field and what's the guys to the left and right of me doing. And when some guys starting to get it and starting to buy into the culture, especially the young guys, like that's what I love to see. So
Last thing, just tell me about what kind of game you expect. Is it going to be just like every single snap will be a battle, a lot of passion? What do you expect in this game Saturday?
I'm expecting a fist fight. I mean, we're gonna run the ball. They know we're gonna run the ball, and we're still gonna run the ball. So for me, that's what I'm looking forward to. Like it's just gonna be a fist fight. So just gonna be mano a mano. So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, they're a great team. So I'm looking for a fist fight. So
Do you anticipate if you guys do use both offenses, does that make it a little more difficult for Navy? Keep them guessing?
I think they're pretty greased up on how to defend the triple. I mean, you can look at years past. I mean, they got a good defensive coach and they have a good defense too. So I think like using both would probably be good. I mean, not speaking into the game plan, but yeah.
All right, sounds good. Josh, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh Sal from Black Knight Nation. How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. Just can you talk about the CIC trophy being on the line for you seniors and what that means? I mean, the game takes a little bit more important. It's a big game, of course, but then you get that victory, you get to take that trophy back to West Point.
Yeah, I mean, taking that trophy, I mean, the case is empty upstairs, so we want to get that back here, obviously. So, I mean, all the seniors, we're all counting on it, and so we're all fighting for each other. I know the underclassmen are fighting for us. I mean, we've had a rough season, so the first half wasn't what we expected, and then we were able to turn this thing around. So, I mean, all the underclassmen have kind of rallied behind us, and so I think we're having a good turnaround of the season. So. I think going into it, I mean, that's why it's going to be a big and important game for us. So I want to
Yeah.
finish it off right.
Obviously, beating Navy is one of the goals, right? And winning the CIC trophy also. So, I mean, would that make this a successful season for you guys, you think? Or
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can be 2-10, and if your 2 wins are over the other 2 academies, I think like in some sense you still have a good season. So I mean, even just ending it off with the CIC victory, that'll be huge for us.
nice. Last one. Is there anybody that is serving right now that you might be playing for, so to speak, or a former teammate that you became close with that you might be playing this game for?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of I could go on and on about all the dudes that have been contacted me this past week and have reached out and all the guys who have I feel like I'm part of their legacy and passing that on. I mean, Cade Ballard, Chris Cameron, Jake Lauer, like I can keep it going and like all these guys like I've always looked up to and like playing for them and knowing what they've instilled in us, and that's part of their culture, our culture, and the guys below me culture. So I think playing for those guys and the brotherhood is pretty important. So
Thanks, Josh. Good luck.
thank
Hey,
you.
Josh, one quick question. What was in your envelope last week at Branch Night? Which branch are you going to?
Infantry, sir.
Why just select infantry?
Um, I think it's probably one of the hardest branches, and I feel like there's a lot of pride in that. And a lot of guys can mock the people that want to go do the nitty gritty and the things that other people don't want to do. I feel like some men got to go out, do the hard stuff in life, and I want to be a part of that group of men. So some people gotta be on the wall, and I want to be on the wall. So
That's great. Congratulations. We'll see you on
Thank-
Saturday.
thank you, sir.
You all said Josh, thank you.
Cool. Thank you.